People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again. As usual, good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom. Please hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Twitch gang, one love. We just come off a fantastic live stream that overran. As I said, please hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Very appreciative to all the support you guys give me across both platforms in all the content we do. We was live from 10 till just literally now on Twitch. We're live till now, till whenever. 3:15, I'm going to be doing a live stream of the quarterfinals of the Under-17s European Championships. Watch along for it, better yet. That's only going to be on Twitch, so make sure you're there. Apologies for being late. Before we get into why I might be late, YouTube gang, we started reminiscing and going down memory lane and talking about when we used to get beats as kids, or as someone said, child abuse. Ooh. But yeah, anyways, it is what it is. On a serious note, hope you're all having a progressive week in your personal and private lives. Hope you're all fit and healthy. Without health, you're dead. Hope you and your loved ones have continued better health and even better health on that. And in terms of your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, aspirations, overcoming hardship, I wish you all the best. Now, again, I was late. I'll pay my late fee. I don't really normally roll with cash on my card, man, but how much is that? Is that a 5 or a 10? 10 is a bit expensive, isn't it? Still, it's a bit expensive still. Like, what you lot saying? Is it 10 or 5? I'll pay my late subs still. I'll pay my late subs. So yeah, that's going into the transfer kitty for our end of season, next season celebrations, folks. That's my late fee. There you lot have it in it. I'm late. It is what it is. You've collected your fine. I'm firmly like a Bamian. Bro, my last team, how much fines did I pay, bro? I must have paid like 2 bills in fines, bro. I must have. But yeah, I paid my fine. I'm late. It is what it is. Big up you lot, people. It is what it is. 20 repeat offender. Now, come on. You're taking a piss, man. Literally gave you everything that's in my wallet, mate. I'm just a little YouTuber here. I'm not rich like you lot, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Allow me. We got 20. I'm late too, so it works for me. I'll throw a $5 in. So between me and Charlie, that's 20. We've covered it in it. We've covered the tab. Let's not do that again. Hopefully that goes towards Arsenal's transfer kitty, and that goes towards bringing Gnabry back. Don't think it happens, but man can dream in it. Eddie Nketiah, 100 bags a week, allegedly signing on for your 5 million. Obviously, I can't lie. I do think to a degree these fees may be a bit inflated and stuff and sensationalized with the Daily Mail, because there's variables that need to be hit in contracts sometimes. I'd imagine with someone like Eddie Nketiah, even Saka's to a degree, we give you a good base salary, but there's heavy incentives. Like I must imagine if Saka gets X amount of goals, X amount of assists, if he stays for X amount, if he plays for if he plays X amount of times for England, if he makes X amount of appearances across the season, if we get into Champions League, Europa League, there's incentives. But it is what it is. The only winner is Eddie Nketiah, and we'll get into it. But you have to big up his agent. Mad signing on fee from this Eddie Nketiah thing. Doing it for 5 games or so, being harsh, but 5 games or so, 100 bags. Saka's going to get a new deal. Balogun's already signed a new deal. Young Kion Edwards has signed a new deal. Over there at United, who's got the same agent, Jadon Sancho just completed a 70-odd million pound move to Man United last year. So you got peas from that. And you're probably going to get peas from some other players. So the agent's pulling a serious blinder, people. Serious blinder. Good morning to everyone, and apologies for being late. I am late, TJ, man. Allow me, man. All the content I do, I make up for it with work rate, man. He's always late. People calling, that's not true. Stop saying that. Stop saying that, man. Come on, bro. Get me. Shout my JA tugs, bro. Our green screen doing me dirty, but we get there, man. What do you mean? If you say get that 7, I'm not coming till 9:30. You know the thing, man. Come on. Appreciate that. But to be fair, at least, I was with the Twitch ones. We was having a good time. Appreciate that, man. Wait, come on. The screen when you hit the ball gets me every time. It does as well, man. It gasses me. Hey, like, when I have a kid, I'm gonna be gassed. I'm gonna gas. I'll be like, that was FA Cup final, and I'm gonna gas it up. Major one-hit wonder, but yeah, man. As long as you show up, that's half the battle. Trust. Their agent is the next Renola, RIP. Is it Eddie Bonsu? I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's doing well, man. He's doing well. He's going well. I think that 100K is cap. It may add up to 100K, but his base salary is maybe lower than that. So do I. I mean, if it is 100 bags, I'm not going to hate on Eddie, inner city London guy, living his dream, playing for Arsenal, getting peas. It is what it is, people. 5-year deal, that ties him down to what? He's 22, turning 23. That will turn him down time all the way down to his latter, his latter 20s. So it kind of makes sense. English tax as well. Obviously, we retain money because I would rate him at about 20 million now, really 15, 20 million now. And you could probably get that. So we've tied him down. Obviously, if he is on 100 bags or something close, then that obviously has knock-on effects for Saka. But I'm not going to lie, he has the same agent. If I'm Saka and Eddie's on 100 bags and me and him can't be on the same realm, I might need 200. I might need 170. I might need something better. If I'm a player coming into this club, I might be looking at that. Obviously, you can't really give 100 bags to someone if they're not going to be your second choice striker in that. So is there now a shift with what Arsenal are doing in the market with now, is it one striker, which probably when you looked at it, it was probably a fallacy for us to expect anything different, really and truly. 50 likes, keep running that one up on YouTube, people. Twitch ones, you're doing amazing. Was it probably a fallacy? So that's probably Eddie Nketiah and Gab Jesus. Now, I'm not being, Eddie looks like he's turned a corner in a way of the way Smith Rowe did to a slight degree in that. Not to the same scale, but he's now a squad player. He's a rotation option, sorry. He's no longer a squad player. But I'm looking at Arteta now because I think it is unfair to expect Gab Jesus and Eddie Nketiah to score anything close to the amount it goes. Now, maybe both given a platform to do it, that's cool. But, we want to go as far as we can in the FA Cup. We want to go as far as we can in the league in terms of top four. If you don't win the Europa League / get to the final, I'm not here for anything else. The League Cup, not really onto you, but you want to do what you can in that competition, right? So all of this, you're going to need guys that can score. And Arteta makes a big song and dance about we need 80 to 90 to 100 goals. Who's really got that? I think if you give Gab Jesus the platform to attempt to do that, he could. But if we go off what we see already, his Brazil manager and Pep, they talk about what a fantastic team player he is, work rate. They don't mention goals. He's got 8 this season, 4 came in a game. Eddie Nketiah have done quite well since he's got a start, but he's got 5 goals. So a team that's already struggling, that needs someone that's going to buy a gunman. We're not got gunmen really and truly, You're not going to get 100 goals with Gab Jesus and Eddie, at least on paper right now. I hope they can. You sprinkle in Smith Rowe and Saka, and Smith Rowe to a degree both had good seasons in terms of goals and assists, but they're developing. They haven't been doing it for years. So we're betting on a lot. So realistically, it sounds as silly as how are we trying to score goals next season, really? And how are we trying to keep clean sheets based on how the season ended? If you're not keeping clean sheets, you're not scoring goals, then you're not going to win too many games of football. So that would be my thing. And I would actually shift that away from the players and I'll pull it out Arteta. If you can develop Eddie Nketiah and Gab Jesus and do all of these things to make them goal scorers, great. And, obviously they tie in with what we're doing. There's not really a market for strikers, but it is what it is. You probably need a winger to make up the difference. And we'll get on to Gnabry, but it is what it is where that's concerned in my opinion, people. Sorry, let's start making some timestamps. Sorry, folks. There we go. Keep your Eddie thoughts, we'll call it that. So yeah, what else are you lot saying, man? Gnabry still only 26. Wild. Big up Catalan surgeon for signing a new deal as well. Had a terrible time with injuries. Exactly. They're all going to get improved, man. They're all going to get improved. Shut up, Danny, man. This guy above. DG is a grafter. Give him his flowers. Hit the like button, Pete. Appreciate that. Liverpool. I'm right back. DG, I told you Eddie would sign because his agents get deals done late. Aye, you're right, man. I wanted the bands, bro. You're right. I'm happy, bro. The peas. Not that I care about the money, but it's that I'm tired of that. Like now, at least with Balogun and Eddie, if they develop, great. If not, if they develop to be first team players and 30 dons, great. Hey, lend army. If they develop to a certain point where they could be sold on, great. What I didn't want is free money walking out, and I'm happy with that. For Eddie, I hope he's made the right decision. What I would say is you need to have looked at this with calculation. Don't listen to what Arteta is telling you. Don't listen to what the club is telling you. Do things because you want to do things. Do you honestly back yourself? Do you want to stay at Arsenal? Ask yourself that. And I'm not criticizing Arteta. I'm just looking at it from a neutral point of view. If I'm Arteta, Edu, all these guys, I want them to tell these young players every lie under the fucking sun so they sign a new deal. Yeah, fam, Haaland, new number, this, that, and the third. But you've got to be calculated because, next season I won't say expectation on Eddie, but there is a level of expectation, You're kind of looking at you to kind of pick up where you left off in the last end of the season now, sort of thing. And we all see the pictures. You're getting bigger physically, pause. He's starting to show a little bit of other, I think the penny's finally dropped for Eddie. He's starting to do a bit like Tammy to a different degree, see at Roma. They're starting to not wait for things to happen on the pitch. They're dropping deep, winning fouls, working the channels, of course, being able to score goals. I do think from what I've seen, Eddie, you could do a lot worse with having him in the squad, especially with Europa League and things like that. And again, that kind of, I won't say gives us confidence in the market, but it kind of gives us confidence in the market because for me, that now means Balogun, go out on loan immediately and keep developing. Lacazette's gone. You've got Eddie, Martinelli can play up there. Go and get Gab Jesus or this next striker in, and then let's move. Because as we know, the season starts earlier. The World Cup is going to mess up the season as well. We all know that we there's a money factor involved. There's a lot of factors going against us in a race against time. So we need to be very proactive in what we are doing, in my opinion. So yeah, man, big up you lot, man. Keep your opinions coming. It is that. DG, his agents play the blinder, respect it, but let's say it doesn't work out. Who's going to start negotiations at 100 per week with him? And that makes it problematic, innit? Because you heard his wages were a problem with Palace getting him last summer. So it makes it difficult to sell him in, people. I think Eddie's goal tally is a little harsh. If he'd been starting regularly, he'd have gotten easily double figures. I don't know that because I personally think the penny's dropped for him now. But that's what I said, Charlie. That's what I said yesterday when I say I kind of count. When I do Eddie's season, I kind of count from when he got his first real start against Chelsea and then the end of the season. Because obviously he's coming off the bench here and there. I can't confidently say that. We're going to only have to see that next year because you could say that. I think he could. But when I look at games like United, should have bagged. When I look at West Ham, should have bagged. Again, I can't convincingly say you would have got double figures because I haven't seen that body of work from you yet. So it's all that if your mom had a willy, she'd be your dad sort of thing. If we never sold a Bamian, we might have got top 4. If we did this in the summer, if we did that, we can't. I don't know, innit, really and truly, people. I can't. I kind of believe you because I think he's turning the corner, but I don't know because he ain't got that body of work. So, yeah, it is what it is. Sorry, folks. We've got some other articles to rise up as well. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. Where's the Hossam Hour stuff I had? There you are. There you are, mate. There you are, fella. What? Get French football caught blocking the thing. What is this about? Well, yeah, it said apparently, there's 2 English clubs that are interested in Hossam Hour, but it seems it's not letting me bring up the article, folks, really, so we're gonna have to just leave it at that. It's not letting me click on it, so we're gonna have to just leave the link to it. Keep your opinions coming. As usual, it's a pleasure to be here, people. Appreciate all your support. What else are you lot saying? Should we get into the transfer news? Eddie is worth, Saka, is worth double whatever Eddie is worth. He's got output and he's proven himself. Eddie's just having a purple patch. And that's what Eddie's got to prove people right or wrong, really and truly. Because, again, there's a level of expectation. And you saw it last season, I personally think there was a time people... At a point, they were calling Emil Kills Flow. You look at the Brighton game, they were onto him about that, how he should have squared it and that, So the same people gassing up Eddie would be the same people that turn on him like they did. They fluctuated with Balogun. Oh, he has to start. He has to start. He has to start. He started in that cup game where he was out of his depth. He's overrated. Half of these guys, half of the fans of all clubs just live in hot takes land. But for Eddie, he's got to prove that it's not a purple patch, really, really and truly. I don't know, man. Lacazette's not, Lacazette's got less goals than Gabriel. I don't know. I have to show and prove. I don't know. Maybe the penny's dropped for Eddie. I don't know. All I know is you've been here for a while and you haven't got a strong body of work. We can't act like he's new. I don't know. Really and truly. Lacazette's not a goal scorer, really and truly. He might have got 15 plus, but football's not for maths calculations. You need to be on the pitch and show the thing. Hey, DG, how can Arsenal sign Nketiah with such a huge contract and other players that deserve it are being looked over? Really wonder where Arsenal's priority is. Let's be real. The Eddie deal's a shambles, 100k a week off the back of what our centre-back has the same amount of goals. He has to score 15, 20 next season. I mean, to be honest with you, you can't blame Eddie. He's leveraged. Him and his agent have played a blinder. They've leveraged the club. They've played the waiting game, and the club have digged their heels in. I mean, for Arteta, you've never hidden your hit the like button, people. 300 of you locked in. You've never hidden your love for Eddie Nketiah, but I think now you're finally starting to prove it, because if I was Eddie, yeah, the manager can gas me up and talk about me for time and that, but minutes are currency. And if we got a striker in January, if Aubameyang behaved himself, if Lacazette's form doesn't drop off, you probably don't get your chance. But this is football. Opportunities happen. You've got to take it. I think the pennies dropped for Eddie Nketiah, and I think similar to when Smith Rowe came back from Huddersfield, I'm not saying he's going to do what Saka and Smith Rowe are doing, but I think he's now up in his levels in football. And whether it's here or there, whether he's a rotation squad player or regular, it's down to him, really and truly. Appreciate it. This regime is the worst. Oh boy. Arsenal are interested in Aston Villa's Chukwuemeka. I mean, he's lit still, but he's contracted until 2023. You was on Twitch where you are now as well. Shout out to Twitch ones, G1. He's been linked with Barca as well. So yeah, Villa have to do something. They probably have to sell him this summer, or he's going for free, isn't it? Really and truly. Nketiah now earns more than Martinelli and equal to Xhaka. Just shows the lack of ambition with us, not feeling we've missed out on the cherry of top four. Gnabry would be a real statement of ambition. I think Eddie's good run of form should have been used to bump up the price tag. Eddie should go, in my opinion. I mean, there's no price tag because he's not tied down. How many stinky goals realistically can a man score in a season? I don't know. Eddie's got a chance. I mean, there's a lot of games to play next season, really. So why not, man? I don't think he'll go Barca, so he won't get game time. Same, but could you really turn down Barcelona just to be there working with Xavi and that training hype, development hype? But the opportunity, could you really turn it down? Really? Really? I don't know. It'd be something to consider. More Serge Gnabry news. Is this? All right. I love for that, Danny. Information. We're going to get into it in a sec. I'm just making sure I'm doing the rounds so we don't miss anything. Makes sense still. It makes sense still. Anyways, it is what it is. And we can afford two strikers. Eddie's deep. I can't lie. I would love two strikers in addition to Eddie, but mainly based off the language of well, just how I'm feeling in the last 24 hours. I personally think it's going to be one striker, whether that's Gab Jesus, to go with Eddie, really. Because Eddie must have asked the club what their plans are for him. And to be fair, they don't owe him nothing. They can still sign two strikers. But yeah, really, it's nice to have someone in the squad, but I don't know, man. So we'll have to see. We have no choice but to see. Don't get why people are moaning for 100k a week. Most strikers or decent strikers will demand that. They might say Eddie's been good for 5 minutes. People sleeping on players like Torreira and Guendouzi. I know attitude has been a problem, but they never put in a bad performance for Arsenal and our young duo we want. Noah, we're lying there, aren't we? We're lying. Like Torreira, Guendouzi, every footballer's had a bad game in an Arsenal shirt, and every club. We're lying to ourselves. People stressing too much over Nketiah. How could they not see this coming? Eddie scored 10 goals 10 goals in 26 games last season. The target, more hat-tricks than Lacazette. The target for him next season should be 15, 20 with more game time. How many in the league, man? You know, the league is what matters for me. I know Eddie can bag in cup competitions. It's the league. And that's not just for Eddie. In general, the league. Because if we're betting on Gabrizis with 8 goals, I want Gabrizis. I think with a platform, he could do things. But if we're just going off numbers, he has not got a solid body of work. Eddie and Nketiah might have the potential, but there's not a solid body of work. Saka and Smith Rowe have probably had their best goal scoring seasons. Smith Rowe went off the ball with assists. Saka had a cut towards the end. Saka kind of failed to bag. He had a couple of penalty goals and that, which goals are goals. But we're betting on 2 dons that are developing. We're betting on Eddie and Nketiah and Gabrizis and their potential. Fair enough, that's the mandate of the club. But when you move away from what the project is, project youth and things, and you look at you need to score goals to get 3 points, how is that going to... Are these guys able to do that? I guess we're going to have to see. And, our midfield doesn't necessarily score. Do not get it twisted. Definitely not expecting Partey to score. Xhaka can't play De Gea every week. I do think Odegaard has got more, should be getting more goals. I do want to see Odegaard improve physically and also score some more goals because I think he's got that capacity, if I'm honest with you. We reduced the wage bill just to give Eddie 100 bags. To be fair with you, English tax, 100 bags. If it is 100 bags, I actually don't think it is. Maybe if he hits all the bonuses, you've tied him down for the best few years and he probably won't get a better one until it's time to move him on, really and truly. But then it does make, if it hasn't happened, it makes shifting him back bad. As I said, what I just want to see now is, okay, he signed this now. How are you going to use him, Arteta? Really, really and truly. So, yeah, El Nene, new deal. Eddie and Nketiah, new deal. The man, they have their new contracts in it. But again, until anything's signed, I don't know. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Think they're learning from previous mistakes, protecting Eddie's value. 100k is mad, but not my money. Trust, it's not my peas, man. Big up Eddie. Sorry, big up DG. So the Eddie new contract works out to approximately 31 million. Is that really that bad? Which English striker can we get for that, including striker fee? We still need 2 additional strikers. I hear that, but at the same time, boy, you could probably get a foreign counterpart. It isn't that. It is almost that logic of what manager would we get because there's if we sack Arteta, what other midfielder, which some fans have said we couldn't do what Xhaka did. It's actually 26 M's. I mean, you probably couldn't, but realistically, if Eddie was at another club, would no one be advocating to buy him for 26 to 31 million quid? As you said, if he develops, he saves us. I just care the fact that we've made peace. 100 bags is a lot, but he's signing for 5 years. That's going to take him through to his latter 20s. If he doesn't hit the heights, he'll be sold by then. We control the variables. If he develops, fair play. So it's calm, really and truly, if I'm honest. It's obviously, is it a bit excessive? Of course, man. But I don't necessarily believe that it's there's no, well, Arsenal do mad things, but sure. And I know, obviously, Arsenal, I mean, his agents were in a strong negotiating position, but a base salary of 100 bags for Eddie and Nketiah, I don't think that's the case. If you hit certain variables and do everything, maybe your base salary, if you do nothing and that's the minimum you get, probably 70, 80. I don't know, but I don't think it's 100 bags, if I'm honest with you. It could be, but I don't think it's 100 bags. Plus 5 million. I don't think it's 100 bags. He was going to leave for free. Week base salary, like if he does nothing, scores no goals, does not play, 100 bags, I don't know. It could be, and if it is well, it is. Arsenal have probably done worse. Like, is it any worse than Willian? Probably not, even though Willian obviously had a stronger foot to stand on. But I don't think it's 100 bags. Maybe there's goal bonuses. There's if certain competitions are qualified for. I don't think it is in it, people. It's got to be serious because I know that's what Arsenal do. It's in Saka's contract. They're in Balogun's contracts. It's incentivized contracts. I can't say it, but yeah, man. Arsenal did panic, but at the same time, is it really panic? Because I think it could be defined as panic, broski, for the obvious. But Arteta's never hidden his desire of keeping him. Fair enough. Him not playing him at times is another debate, but he's never hidden his desire of keeping him. He said he's a key player. He said he's key to the future here. Boom, boom, do it, boom, boom, boom. He said he's a good player. He trains well and all of these sort of things. So is it that? Hit the like button, people. We should be moving to 100. If you've hit the like button, God bless you lot. If you haven't, come on, man. You're doing the guy dirty. Twitch gang, you're in top form, as you always are. I am going to get into the transfer news soon, but I just really love you lot's opinions, man. DG, are you a bit... Sorry, let me make another timestamp as well, man. You lot just make the content for me. These are going to get cut up. DG, are you a bit worried about how Arteta's assessment of squad players seem to change quickly. It's like they go from being unusable to indispensable and vice versa. I think Arteta does what the fans do, the flavour of the month. But then again, I do think one thing that goes for the Holdings and El Nenes is that I wouldn't say happy to be sidemen, but they know they're sidemen. They're happy to be sidemen. It is what it is. They'll get their opportunities. I do think one thing I don't like about Arteta is these guys will give you, across the course of the season. I'm not going to sit here and lie. When our form was better, there was times when Holding, when Tavares, when Cedric, even when they've stepped, and others when they've stepped in, when they've stepped in, they've done all right. But I do think Arteta then gets false confidence in them. When you rock, and there was injuries, but when you rock up at Newcastle's place or Tottenham's place in must-wins with these guys, it's a madness, people. Doesn't matter what. So, yeah, it kind of does. It doesn't matter what wages he's on. Eddie is not good enough to get us Champions League. Simple. He's not good enough in his own right, but it don't mean he can't be a decent squad player. Get liking. I don't think Eddie will play much next season. Don't know what's going on. Eddie showed me enough that I think on balance, this isn't as big a deal as people are making out. Let him leave for free and spend X amount. I think it's probably excessive wages, but I don't think it's that much of a big deal in the grand scheme of things. It would be a bigger deal for me if, respectfully to Eddie, we turn around and then try and rely purely on Eddie Nketiah because of what we've seen towards the tail end. I don't like betting on that. It's very different. Next season, there's expectation on Saka to get goals. Smith Rowe to get goals and assists. Saka the same. Obviously, man, I'm not expecting Eddie to be up there with Son and Salah and these guys for Golden Boot. But there's a level of expectation now. The bar was kind of on the floor. I want to get into a scenario next season where we don't necessarily praise footballers for working hard or link up play or being good for young players or being good at specifically strikers. Arteta said it. Strikers need to score goals. The next striker needs to score goals. We need that. I like Eddie. I think he's shown a lot, and it was almost poetic that he bagged against Everton because I remember fans getting onto him Everton away. So I'm cool with Eddie staying. I think he's calm with the squad player, homegrown, all them things there. One thing I don't like what Arsenal do though is we take guys that are meant to be, obviously, if you show something different, it's cool. But guys that are meant to be squad players, we take them and make them the main men and things like that. Let's proper delegate positions. I think Eddie, Europa League, that's you. Cups, that's you. Obviously, right now, if the Premier League was still going on, you're starting every week because you've done quite well. I like Eddie, man. I think he showed me enough to be part of the squad. I want a striker or two. Do not get it twisted. Eddie would be third choice for me, I'll probably giving up on Operation Martinelli up front now with the strikers coming in. But, yeah, man, it could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah, I heard 100 including bonuses, really 80-ish. Exactly, and we'll never actually know, man. No good having players happy to be on the bench. El Nene was smiling like he signed for Real Madrid. I agree with that. Exactly, Kolasinac was on 100 bags, bro. That is criminal. Hope so. Eddie, and again, Eddie will go through a drought like everybody else. The thing is, it's nothing to do with Eddie. It's more the fact that Arsenal have been starving. I agree with you, in that I said it with Southampton when Eddie started, Even in that game, Eddie should have, we should have bagged. Do you remember Eddie's pressed pause, Jan Valery, and it's ended up, I believe, with Saka scoring. I mean, not scoring, where he should have bagged. One thing that the bar's on the floor up front at Arsenal and has been, but Eddie made me miss what it was like to see a striker work the channels or drop deep or just earn little fouls or run in behind. So it is what it is. And I don't agree with it. I think we've made a massive drama over Eddie's contract and probably inflating egos. You can't have players like Eddie holding you ransom, sign the thing or leave. We talked about changing the culture, but still doing the same things. I hear that. Eddie needs 20 goal involvements next season. He's still developing. It's like getting blood from a stone. With some of these young players, I don't really expect. Obviously, if you're playing, you have to do stuff, but I don't expect too much because if you ain't done it for years or ain't done it in general, I expect to see development, but I can't expect you. I can't expect Eddie Nketiah to get 20 league goals. I can't expect that, people. So, yeah, let's start getting into some of these transfer news, people. He just has to develop into such. But yeah, let's get into half of these things. Transfer news. Keep your opinions coming, people. Eddie is a top kid with a top attitude for his own career. Who would have thought he'd want to be the undisputed number one striker at a new club? I mean, he's not running from competition. I'll give him that. Cool with Eddie if Arsenal are signing him. You can bet Arsenal wouldn't sign a top striker. Get Gnabry or Osman. our front. I don't. I think you mean I don't like the fact that we don't spend consistently. We spent 250 million last two seasons. All clubs have spent the same amount as us. It's normal. I just want Arsenal to spend correctly. We've been spending peace, 10 in the league and 10 throughout the rest of the. I mean, if you could get 10, if you could get double figures as a second fiddle striker, I hear that. So do your thing. I would love him to be able to do that. But where should we start? I guess we have to start with Eddie Nketiah in the car. That's where you lot are at. So let's start with the rumours of Eddie Nketiah. Allegedly, The Athletic says Eddie has changed his mind about leaving Arsenal and is on the verge of signing a new contract. The Athletic understands the striker's new deal would be expected to be up to 5 years in length, although, pardon me, it is still in the process of being finalised. The 22-year-old's current contract is due to expire this summer, and there had been an expectation that he would end a 7-year association with the North London club. He was coveted by numerous clubs, including Crystal Palace, but will now stay at the Emirates next season. As you know, Eddie made his debut for Arsenal in September 2017. Spent half a season on loan at Leeds before re-establishing himself under Mikel Arteta. People, he's finished the season with 5 goals in 7, which for me, that's when your season really started. So yeah, but you're gonna become a marked man. Same way Saka hasn't got that much space on the pitch. So man, for it, man. Why not? You know, if you can become a squad player or a rotation option, why not? That saves us money. Not everyone has to be the guy, really. And people develop at different rates. He's still only 22 and he's arguably playing catch up. And he's finally starting to physically fill out. He's finally looking, for me, he was, for me, a large part of Eddie's early time in the first team. He was doing that academy thing, which Balogun's learning not to do. Is you're waiting for things to happen. Sometimes you have to work the left and the right hand channels. You have to drop deep. You have to win a smart foul. You have to, I know strikers want to score goals, but you have to make a run for a teammate to take advantage. And I think his link-up play, all of these things are doing well, man. So big up Eddie. Hopefully you get a new deal. You go off and play for Ghana. Your career's finally starting now, really and truly. What's Charlie said? 130 likes. Think you're out of date. Keep running that. Let's get to 200, man. Eddie, Arsenal give Eddie Nketiah his last chance to sign a new deal at the club, with West Ham, Crystal Palace and other suitors now convinced he will stay at Arsenal. Arsenal have put their final contract offer of a new deal on the table for Eddie Nketiah. He's attracting plenty of interest, people. There's a growing feeling that Eddie will commit to the Gunners now. It's not over to the fat lady sings. Until he's signing the deal, it's irrelevant. Allegedly, and before I carry Bell, he said Sammy always includes bonuses and signing on fees when reporting on Arsenal's wages. The same thing happened with Willian, a simple clickbait tactic. He's likely, and again, this to be fair to Sammy, this guy, I don't know who he is. He don't work for Arsenal. He's likely on 75, 80 a week before any add-ons. This puts him on par with the likes of Smith Rowe and Odegaard, which is calm, which I agree with, and I think it's a fantastic point. So we've got to just bear that in mind. We'll never know. Is in that regards, people. Going back to this, Arsenal give Eddie Nketiah his last chance to sign a new deal at the club. Scrolling all the way down, Sportsmail understands that Arsenal's offer is a 5-year deal worth in the region of 100 bags per week, again within the region. Eddie has also been offered a huge signing on bonus, believed to be up to 5 million over the course of the deal. Eddie was expected to leave the Gunners this summer after rejecting a number of contract extensions, citing his desire to play regularly as the key factor behind his decision, people. He finished the season as the club's first. Clubs were hopeful to sign Eddie on the free when his contract expires, but it looks like he's going to stay. Sports Mail revealed earlier this month that Arsenal were preparing one last attempt to persuade him to stay at the club. Newcastle were interested. They've not been listed here, people, but West Ham, Crystal Palace and numerous clubs abroad, in particular the Bundesliga, were hoping to take Nketiah on a free transfer. Mikel has made it clear that he wants to keep him, and obviously this follows in addition with El Nene signing a new deal and Kyle Edwards and Serjan as well. So make of that what you will, people. Going into this one before that one, Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal. Gunners to step up move for Manchester City striker after Mikel Arteta chooses his top target. Arsenal will step up their pursuit of Gabriel Jesus after Mikel Arteta made the Manchester City striker his top forward transfer target. The Gunners are close to tying down Nketiah to a new 5-year deal worth around 100 a week and are ready to press ahead with a move for Jesus. Reps for the 25-year-old Brazilian have been in England this week for talks over his future, with Tottenham and Juventus also interested. So yeah, hit the like button, people. Also interested. Carrying on. Apparently, he has 1 year left on his contract at City, as we know. They're inclined to sell this summer if he will not agree an extension. Arsenal have been scouting several strikers in similar mold to Jesus, including Jonathan David. 50 million for Jonathan David's a no. But their interest in the Canadian has cooled. He's had a poor start to 2022. Arsenal, as you know, missed out on Champions League qualification, but it's hoped Jesus can still be tempted by the project under Mikel Arteta, with whom he worked at City during his time as an assistant to Pep Guardiola. Edu will play a key role in pinching Arsenal to Jesus, with the chance of the Brazilian to play as a number 9 and be a regular starter. And I mean, with Eddie and Nketiah rotating in and out the team, with Jesus able to play on the left, on the right, and particularly up front, that obviously allows Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe to look over their shoulder and keep it up, in pause in terms of their performances, but also allows rotation and things like that. So yeah, Arteta is a fan of Jesus due to his dribbling, finishing, and pace, but his work without the ball is a major attraction too, which is, I like that. I like the fact that he's a pressing forward. He drops deep. He's a selfless player, but I need to know Jesus and Eddie are gonna score goals, because I think we're being a bit, we're almost trying to draw blood from a stone. We're doing this young player project. If you sign a contract for big money, or you're wearing the number 7 or 10, and or you get the number 9 with Jesus and you've come from City, I expect things. But then, to a degree, when I look at their bodies of work, I have to ask questions of the manager if it works or doesn't work, if I'm completely honest with you, because Jesus has 8 goals this season. We're looking at it on a lazy view. We need a striker that's going to score goals. He's got 8 goals this season. That isn't really going to put us in good stead. We're betting on the potential of Jesus getting an opportunity through the 9, feeling more important. Same rhetoric goes with Eddie and Nketiah. You're hoping Saka and Smith Rowe can keep putting up the numbers. You're hoping other people can chip in, whether they're internally at the club or we bring in a goal-scoring winger or whatever. But I still would not be able to look at the squad and say in August, you're going to be my guy chasing the Golden Boot. Again, obviously, they brought in good guys in the summer in January with Bentancur and Kulusevski. But away from that, Kulusevski's putting up numbers. Kane took off half the season, still getting numbers. Son getting numbers. Goals win football games. Like, there's no way of escaping it. And it's very volatile. So I'm more looking at how Arteta is using them, how he's going to get them, because I feel signing players personally, this is just my opinion, is half the job personally. Because if we get a number 8, we need movement in front. If we get a striker, we need chance creation. I don't think we create enough chances, or we're creative enough that the striker is just going to land here and score goals. So there's many different layers for me anyways, but that's just me speaking for myself. I can't really speak for anything else really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. So it is what it is. Smith Rowe got 10 in the league, so Eddie can. I mean, I hope so. That's what I'm asking for. If you lot can put up the numbers, then it is what it is. I'm looking at Arteta mainly because these are young players trying to develop. As I said earlier in the season, do I think Eddie Nketiah is going to be ever mentioned in the same realm as Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy, or Aubameyang? I hope so. I really do. But where was Kane at 22? Where was Vardy at 22? Where was Aubameyang at 22? My point is not to criticize or big up these players. It's man are learning, and I think football fans are very harsh. Like, people underestimate how difficult it is to play Premier League football and to learn. Is Eddie playing catch up? Could he went out of loan? Could we have been more proactive in his development and accelerated it? Of course. But he's finally got an opportunity to show what he's doing. He's developing physically. For me, he's showing the other aspects in the game, really. You can't just stand in the 6-yard box. It don't work like that unless you're at City where they're just going to cook. So the penny's kind of dropping, but he's 22, turning 23. Now you just want to see him kind of go up a level, which he's kind of done now. So, yeah, I'm more keen to see not just him, but what Arteta is doing, if that makes sense. So it makes sense. Keep your opinions and that coming. Boy, the big one, innit? The big one. Arsenal are interested in Serge Gnabry. Gnabry can also imagine a comeback with the Gunners after missing the Champions League. This is financially unrealistic this summer. Next chance, 2023, when Gnabry is a free agent. Now, don't do it to me, people. I want Gnabry back. The whole reason I started YouTube is because Gnabry left. That's one of my first videos. I want Gnabry back. But he's in contract talks with Bayern Munich. There's other teams interested in him. Arsenal were used to our name being used to drive up interest. But if you're going to get Jesus and Eddie Nketiah, Gnabry's got a strong body of goals. Not had a bit of a tough 18 months, but we'll accept that. The romance is there. Do I think we're going to get Gnabry? No, but if there's a chance of dreaming, I'm here for it, people. Arsenal interested in Serge Gnabry, and Bayern Munich star can imagine Gunner's return. I can as well. Till you rock up at Chelsea, he would be open to a return to the Emirates. Come home, man. The German international is out of contract at Bayern Munich at the end of next season. Bayern, therefore, may look to sell this summer. I mean, could you imagine if they lost Lewandowski for free and Gnabry? So they have to sell 2 or 1. Bayern, therefore, may look to sell this summer in order to avoid the risk of losing him for free in 12 months' time. Reports have claimed Gnabry is open to leaving the Bundesliga giants and has rejected an offer of a new deal. Apparently, he feels that he doesn't feel the importance. He's unhappy that more efforts have been made with contracts for other players, and also he doesn't feel that there's drawing in parity. He's 26, so he's going to have to be on big wages. And we heard our club is scared of FFP. We didn't get Champions League. For me, Gnabry's a player you move the goalposts for, but there is a financial risk. Fundamentally, if it doesn't work out, you're in trouble. Sports Blind reporter Christian Fluck says Arsenal are interested in signing the 26-year-old. And obviously it'll be consistent with the Gakpo links and things like that, and people that have abilities to play out wide. He claims Gnabry can imagine returning to the Gunners, however, and he does love London still. Flug says it is likely to be difficult for the North London club to complete a deal this summer after failing to qualify for the Champions League. I mean, ain't we cleared ranks with with wages and that? Arsenal are interested in Gnabry. Gnabry can also imagine a comeback with the Gunners. After missing the Champions League, this is financially unrealistic this summer. Next chance, 2023, when Gnabry is a free agent. But then if we're not in the Champions League a year from now, what are we saying there? I'm not too sure on that, people. So, yeah, let's see what's going on with Gnabry. I don't get what Wenger said about him. He shouldn't have left in the first place. Apparently, Arteta wants to bring him back. You was teammates. Why not? Arsenal are interested in bringing Gnabry back to the Emirates, and the Bayern Munich star would not be opposed to returning, according to reports in Germany, people. In the most recent campaign, he got 5 assists and 14 goals. He has a year left on his deal. He's been linked with Liverpool as well. I'm sure Chelsea would be involved as well. I don't think it's realistic, but what is realistic, and I'm just a football fan, I don't know anything, people. Apparently, Bayern Munich's honorary president has confirmed that the German champions had made a great offer to Gnabry, but he's yet to commit to fresh terms and could be could be one of a growing list of players to leave on a free transfer. It's the same situation as with Solar. I think he has a great offer from Bayern and now has to make a decision. Your media drives me crazy with these free transfer things. What do you want to do? Should you stuff the players with money until they say yes, or maybe choke on it? Pause times 10. So yeah, it is what it is there with Gnabry. Make of that what you will, people. Continuing any of that. Apparently, Fiorentina ultras have mocked the club. They said Torreira to Arsenal and Barone. Torreira to Arsenal and Barone to Arsenal. They're not really happy with what's going on here. It's been reported that despite rumors, apparently, Fiorentina will not sign him on a permanent transfer. So that's probably where they're upset. In fact, he's actually been linked with Juventus. There are some reports that say Juventus are not interested. You know, Juventus do love a midfielder, but they say Juventus are looking at Torreira. And that's great. You stay in Italy, join a big club, all those things. Give us half a mellow in return. And you're contracted until 2023. Me personally, I think Torreira should be one of the easiest ones to be sold because he's actually had a standout sort of loan or per se. And he should have interest from Italy. He's got a year left. So he should be one of the easiest to be able to be sold, in my opinion. Won't be making anything close to the money we spent. But yeah, people. Apparently, Juventus are interested, people. And they have no problem paying the 15 euros that Arsenal allegedly want. So we'll have to see. But, there's talk of bringing in Pogba. And again, without getting rid of someone, surely you can't have Pogba, Arthur Melo, Rabiot, technically still Aaron Ramsey, technically Weston McKennie, probably a bag of other midfielders that are missing out. Juventus have a fetish for midfielders per se. That's Ousmane Dembele is irrelevant to us people, but that's that. Apparently, Marseille president Longoria on William Saliba. Above all, we have to respect Arsenal. Now, apparently, Arteta has said he wants William Saliba back next season, but Marseille are not giving up, people. They're trying to buy that Torreira guy from El Love. He looks quite good. The possibilities are we respect his club. We have to thank Arsenal. They are a friendly club to us who have helped us a lot in the last transfer window. We have very good relations with Arsenal. We need to speak. see if there's a possibility to find an agreement between the two clubs, the desire of the player and that of the club. But above all, we have to respect Arsenal. Fair enough, you know, gentlemen, and that. I appreciate that. I'm sure every Arsenal fan listening appreciates that as well. 148 likes. Keep going, people. So that's that where Saliba is concerned. Same thing here with Saliba. No clue why that's there. Tammy Abraham, who I think Tammy Abraham's general plays improved a lot. You know, again, like Eddie Nketiah, he used to wait for things to happen. He works the left and the right hand channels. Jose Mourinho's been giving him the dark arts because although he should have earned a foul yesterday, he's winning fouls and then he's doing winks and that. Tammy's going to return to the Prem, whether that's Arsenal or someone, he's going to. That's why Roma bought him. He helps us now and we make some money. Tammy Abraham, who's like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, congratulations to Ainsley and Tammy. Commiserations to Reece Nelson after, big up everyone that was there at that watch along. Allegedly, Tammy Abraham speaks out on his Roma future. He says he's more than happy at Roma, but has refused to rule out a return to the Premier League this summer by insisting you never know what the future holds. The 24-year-old has scored 27 goals in all comps this season, people. And I mean, it takes me back to Fabio Capello's comments when he said, you look at Tammy Abraham, Lukaku and Osimhen, at other leagues, they struggled, they became 30 here. So depends what you read, people. He deserves to be in the Nations League as well, people. He deserves it. 27 goals. He's become the highest scoring English player in a single Serie A season. 34 million well spent, really. And not to mention, Chelsea have a buyback clause as well. Scrolling all the way down, he said, I would say I'm more than happy here. Just the experience here. Pardon me. I had the experience of just the Derby game. Derby games, of course, are big. But here, they filled the rows week before the game. That's all they're talking about. We had another game before it. The fans weren't even talking about the game. They were just saying we have to beat Lazio. Just the rivalry. The atmosphere in the stadium, just everything is incredible. So I'm happy here. You never know what the future holds. You can't write the future. But as far as it is, I'm satisfied. He went on to say, I don't think it's an easy this is Jose. I don't think it's an easy decision for a young local player to leave his club Chelsea, to leave his house, his city, his country, to leave the Premier League, which is of course a competition that when a player is in it, it's hard to leave. He made that option and I think he made it by trusting in me. If he wants to go back to England, I don't think he wants to now. He just needs to click his fingers. Fair enough. So that's that where Tammy Abraham. And even if you were to sign Tammy, you have to deal with Chelsea sell-on clause, which, again, Roma are going to want more because they're going to have to give money to Chelsea, and Chelsea might act and get involved in things, 30 goals in 82 appearances for Chelsea. Did he not leave being their top goal scorer? And again, there's a £68 million release clause, or better yet, buyback clause for Chelsea. And they need to sort out Lukaku, and they'll probably buy another striker. Maybe Tammy will return one day, but they'll probably buy another striker, really and truly. I don't know about Broja, but he seems to Broja's full. An opening, people, as you lot can see, but apparently Lyon opened the door to Hossam Aouar's departure. Real Betis, Sociedad, and two unnamed English clubs are interested. Now, I think I'm no in the know, but we could say one is Leicester because they're interested, and I hope it's Arsenal. For 15 million euros, you could do a lot worse. It was linked with City once upon a time, Juventus, Arsenal, Spurs, United, everyone. Don't know why he's still at any of these things, but it is what it is. Now, again, the link doesn't seem to be working, people. So, oh, shit, it is. Here we go. Lyon opened the door to Hossam Aouar departure. As reported by Football Mercato, Betis are interested in bringing in another Lyon player to add to Nabil Fekir. Again, and there's Real Sociedad that are also interested. And apparently there's interest from Serie A. One of the Italian teams qualified for the Champions League, and at least two English clubs are also interested, with one Premier League clubs, it says, with one of the Premier League clubs potentially making an offer soon. The fact that Aouar is entering the final year of his Lyon contract is also a factor pushing Lyon to agree to an exit. The 23-year-old has not rejected any options thus far and is taking the time to reflect on his future as he looks to reach his full potential and return to the French national team. Arteta, didn't you want him? He has had a decrease in goal involvements, but I think he's been okay this season. Bring him to the carpet, man. Bring him. But I don't think we will. But yeah, there's that. And on that as well, people, on going back to the Gnabry thing, keeping up with this, just to end this, according to, let's pause this. According to Sports Blinds, the current absence of a contract extension for Serge Gnabry could force Bayern to sell their winger this summer On the pain of him going for free the following summer, Real Madrid and Arsenal are interested. Again, obviously, Real Madrid are thinking about Nkunku, Gnabry, and almost every other player due to what happened with Kylian and Haaland. We all know, once again, Gnabry's contract is until 2023. So, yeah, scrolling down to Arsenal's bit, they've also been linked with Rafael. Arsenal would like to get him back. If Bayern Munich have already renewed Manuel Neuer, Kingsley Coman, and Thomas Muller, the management seems more reluctant to align themselves with the salary claims of the 26-year-old player, who would like to obtain the same allowance, maybe money, as Kingsley Coman, 18 million euros per year, which would place Gnabry on the podium of the highest paid players. The sporting director recently hinted at a salary cap when addressing ongoing talks with Gnabry. The German international reportedly didn't appreciate, which would give Real Madrid leverage to act. You couldn't begrudge him for joining Real Madrid. But Florentino Perez's club is not the only one on this issue. Arsenal, who play in the Europa League next season, would also like to bring the player back they train. The main interest party would not be opposed to a return to the Premier League or the discovery of La Liga. And at 26, he's got a lot to he's got a lot to think about, really and truly. He's got a lot to think about and a lot to consider, really and truly. So we'll have to see how that one develops. But yeah, where that's concerned, big up you lot. Make sure you're hitting the like button. That's the transfer news. We're going to keep speaking about stuff, of course, people. But what is the timestamp? 51:16. So yeah, let me scroll all the way back, man. If we have Eddie as our main striker and he ends up with 12 goals in the premise, it's a success. Okay. Scrolling all the way down, goals and assists. Extending Eddie's contract doesn't mean we can't improve on him this transfer window. Amen. Who would you want in midfield? Well, if we could get Fabian Ruiz, but I don't think we're doing this. He got 8 starts this season. Next season, he gets maximum 15 starts if we sign a new one. If he reaches 10, it will be a success. Eddie's second choice. You man in for a surprise. He's the main man next season. Less of that. Arsenal need to show some ambition. The owners and board are so mediocre. You reckon Eddie being the main man is a good idea? No, Eddie should never be the main man until he shows he can be the main man. But I think he should be part of the squad, really, with the amount of games we got next season. Trust the phone's ringing, man. Come a long way, Eddie. Why would Jesus go to Arsenal from Man City? Why? Problem with Arsenal fans, deluded. We're literally just speaking about the speculation. I mean, I guess I kind of answered that. I mean, if he signs, you're going to have egg on your face. I don't think we're getting Jesus, but let's just stay humble in this life, man. Preach, DG. There's been too much hate in love for becoming a member, my guy, RK. Preach, DG. There's been too much hating on Eddie. His stats compared with the Prem's best. He had many sub appearances without scoring. That has clouded his record. More accurate is his goals per minute. It's true, but truthfully, it's down to Eddie. He's got a platform now. We're just going to have to see, really. Tammy is meaty. Wouldn't say meaty, but yeah, man. Arteta out, bit harsh. All the Arsenal PR accounts are mentioning bring back Gnabry, so there could be a chance. I hope so. But again, as I always say, I'm happy to sit here and talk about Gnabry and Gabriel Jesus and Tammy Abraham and Telemans and Martha Mello and, you know, Joe Bloggs, who's going to get linked with us tomorrow. But until I see people holding the shirt, saying I've watched Arsenal since I was a kid, it's all a myth. That's where it starts and ends. If you were in Gnabry's shoes for this situation, where you going? Real Madrid, personally. But then again, there might be that little itch at the back of your head that wants to come back to Arsenal. DG, Deluded Gooners giving Eddie a 5-year contract. These are the type of deals that will keep the club out of the top 4. As long as we don't improve, Eddie can have a new deal, you know, and give him a platform to develop. But as long as you improve the squad, bring in strikers and players that can allow these young players to grow in a healthy space and not necessarily relied on, that's cool. You know, unless you're Mo Salah, to a degree, Harry Kane and Son in the Prem, them sort of guys there, you shouldn't rely on them. Or if you're not Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, all of these sort of guys, I don't think you should rely on players. You have players that make up the difference. We've got a young squad. I don't expect everyone to do it for 38 games plus. There's going to be times where Eddie's going to struggle. Then it's going to happen for Eddie. then it's gonna have, Smith Rowe and Saka take the mantelpiece. We saw it last season. Other people had bet, the sun was shining and raining according. Very few players in this Arsenal team went the whole way, really and truly. So we'll have to see, if I'm completely honest with you. But yeah, I wouldn't, if he wants to come back to Arsenal because of the London aspect and the attraction of the club, why not? But I would have to question Gnabry's ambition if he signed for Arsenal. I can't lie, because you could go to Real Madrid where they're doing what they're doing. It goes without saying. I know you'd pick up a good wage. I know you're comfortable, and I'm not saying the project and playing under Arteta isn't attractive, but I would question. Eddie can be improved, but I don't want to rely on him next season. We couldn't get a better striker than Eddie for 20 million. Disagree with that. I think we're overdoing it a bit. I'm not going to list examples, but there probably are some young strikers out there that at a point could have been caught. It's a good signing, but we don't need to cap. It's almost that sort of rhetoric, said Charlie, for me, is when people say, oh, it's better we didn't qualify for the champs because we couldn't make it. We can't really improve upon Xhaka. If Arteta leaves, what gaffer do we get? It's almost fake positives, really. I disagree, really, if I'm completely honest with you. Origi's a Champions League winner. PR accounts stay lying when it's renewal time. I'd rather keep Eddie than bringing Origi, if I'm honest with you. You take nothing away from Origi. It's like neither are going to take the club where it needs to go. Or alone. Will Saka sign a new deal? I hope so, but I ain't got a crystal ball. Get to 200 likes, people. Come on, man. G1, appreciate you for banging that drum. But yeah, man, we're slacking still. What's this, G1, that you sent? It's not coming up on Instagram. Why is it not letting me sign into Instagram? What's it saying? It's not letting me see, bro. I think Gnabry's a myth, but what do I know? Eddie had his chance to prove if he starts, he can score goals, and he did. Eddie's going to be a baller next year. I hope so, but it's very different when you're relying on him for 38 games. It's not a strong enough case study, and it's not fair on Eddie, because a footballer career is not linear. You're very naive if you think that now Eddie's just going to bag goals, nothing's going to go wrong. Even the most talented of strikers have bad games, miss chances, stuff that Eddie's gone through already, go on goal droughts. Other players have gone through this. Ronaldo, people are doing a big song and dance. Salah stayed on 20 league goals for a while. So it's very different than when you're relying on someone for 38 games. Let's let him do his thing, but, let's calm down a bit. I don't know what winger comes, man. I don't know. I really don't. Thoughts on Schumacher? I like him a lot, but he looks comfortable to stay in Italy. Have you seen a couple sports news companies are saying Telemans has joined us? Well, forget the sports news companies. When Telemans is on Arsenal.com saying he signed, I'll believe it. Really. As I said, until I see people holding shirts, until I see Arsenal fans tracking windows, how Arsenal fans are, flights, windows, gardens. When I see that, I don't really until I see stuff like that, it's a myth. There was even rumors we're looking at, where is it? All the talk about Nketiah and Gabriel. Let me bring back one for the Arsenal fans of the ages. Apparently, Atletico, Barca, or Arsenal for Morata people. According to the Spanish newspaper, Juventus will not exercise the purchase option on Alvaro Morata people, the terms of which expire on the 31st of May. And obviously other teams are looking at him. Scrolling all the way down, Barcelona or Arsenal are interested. Was he not close to going to Barcelona in the summer? In January. Juventus don't want to pay the 35 million that they have to commit. So yeah, man. So yeah, it might be. Just had to throw that one in there. Trust. Until I see them things there, it's a myth. DJ, I think we should get at least 2 mids, 2 strikers, 1 winger, and 1 left wing back. I hear it. If we brought a world-class striker and then extended Nketiah's contract, I think the action would be much different. It's all timing. To be fair, though, as I always say, we can criticize the club and whatnot, but surely we can comment and talk about transfers and what the club's doing, but surely it's worth everyone just shutting the fuck up until the end of the window, because you don't know what the club is doing. Eddie can sign a new deal. If Eddie signs a new deal, by all means, we can speculate if that's good or not. If Jesus signs, we can speculate, Tammy, etc., etc. But surely we need to You know, the two are not interlacted. I mean, Arteta, I can't really say I have faith in Arsenal because we do brazy things, but the way you speak about the next striker needs to score goals, what we need to do, I don't think Eddie is going to be the only striker at this football club. You know, you can sign a new deal and get on the case with other signings. So let's see what's going on, man. Surely. So we'll have to see. Surely it's worth just shutting up for a sec. By all means, if the club don't react, then ask questions and do what we're doing. But surely it's worth just shutting up until just let the club try and do a thing first. And I'm not trying to back the club or whatever. I'm just like, we should just shut up until things happen. We don't know what the club's doing. And realistically, how many world-class strikers are out there really and truly? The term world-class. Well, everyone's variation of the term is different, but there's a very small bracket of world-class players, let alone strikers for me. So we'll have to see. But yeah, you could argue Arsenal don't even need a world-class striker. We just need a striker that's going to do the job, people. Apparently, Arsenal are looking at Czech Decore, the lens centre back, the lens defensive mid. Sorry, you can also play in midfield and centre back. I told you we should be looking at him. Would not surprise me if he gets a move. There's bare dons at thingy, man. You know, there's bare dons at lens that you could take. That Fifana guy's a bit old, but even him, people, I don't think we're gonna get Decore, Check Decore. He's very good technically, you know, loves a bit of play acting as well. Lens always got talented players, man. Arsenal facing Premier League competition for complete Lens midfielder, and he's what, 23 or something. He's kind of young still, 22 better yet. Very good technically, could be good for the squad. Really, might not cost that much as well, but with El Nene signing a new deal. I don't know. Xhaka's future is always staying or going, but with Xhaka probably going to play significantly next season at this moment in time. Thomas Partey cost 45 million. You've still got Lokonga. You've signed El Nene to a new deal. I'm probably missing out another centre mid, but talk on Telemans. While I think there's an ideal world where in an ideal world, I'd love for Arsenal to revamp our midfield options, 2 8s and a 6, in addition with Partey and whatnot. But I don't think we're doing this. The Mali international has had a good season. We have been linked with Basuma, so maybe there's interest. He does appear set to leave Lens this summer, and he's got a whole host of interest with Arsenal, Brighton, Palace, and Everton all looking at him. Now, Wolves as well, allegedly, because they look set to lose another player who is linked with Neves. Now, probably got to take these things with a pinch of salt, because our names could just be in front to have a bidding war. But if he's going to cost a cheap one, why not? He can get a lot better. He is a good player. Even that Don that's on loan at PSG, is it Carl from PSG? Is it Kalawendo or something? I can't say his name. He plays on the wings and up front. So I'll be amazed if he's at PSG next season. You know, I think a Prem club should take a chance. Not us, but a Prem club should take a chance. Arsenal are expected to be in the market for a midfielder this summer after they failed to sign Alpha Melo in January. The Brazilian was reportedly keen to leave Juventus in favour of a move to the Emirates, but an agreement could not be reached. Telemans has been heavily linked with Arsenal, and obviously El Nene has committed his future. So, read into that what you will. It is what it is in that regards, folks. Big up you lot for tuning in. We've been linked with Paqueta in the past, but other people are being linked with him now, in specifically Newcastle. Gabriel is still getting linked with Juventus. Bit boring that one, isn't it? Really. So yeah. What other news is there? Not really anything of significance. We've kind of covered it all, really. You scroll the way up, man. What are you lot saying? I don't want to miss out any comments. Eddie can't be the main man, but the striker market right now is expensive for us to buy too. I mean, we was gonna, we are not getting that Hosek guy, but we was gonna buy. If Eddie left, we was gonna get a project striker and the next one. So I think that is our 2 strikers, Eddie, and assuming we got Jesus. I don't think we're bringing in 2 strikers now. Anyways. Big up DG City fan. Love watching your content. Appreciate that, my guy. Tell your guys, Gundogan, Zinchenko, Sterling, Jesus. Couple players will take still. You never get him up. Certain Arsenal fans were turning up their nose to the thought of Bernardo Silva. Okay. Sorry, but that Spurs game would have been different with Oba. I mean, but I don't know about that because it might have been rubbed regardless. No, you're right, bro. But I think now he's had the chance to start over Laka and he's banged a couple in. I think he can develop into a 20-year season striker. I hope he can develop. But while he's developing and learn, if you're a plumber, and you're an apprentice, what do? You get paired up with someone that's more experienced, I like. So while Eddie's developing, get someone who can do this thing today and help us score goals today. Because then it needs to be healthier, in my opinion, for these young players, for them to develop. Hey, DG, who would you prefer to be our Xhaka replacement? Fabian Ruiz. Really appreciate the love for the content. Fofana's lit, but it's not going to happen. Tarkowski, I wouldn't be against it by that, man. Giving Eddie 100K a week for 5 years, we all know he will underperform, and now no team will even loan him because of his wages. He's not good enough for even being a second choice. Being a bit harsh about he's not good enough to be a second choice, but I hope he proves you wrong. I do think he could still go on loan because Arsenal would probably do something like they could pay half his wages or none of his wages, and you could go on loan. When Arteta said quality over quantity, I think that means 2 free signings max, especially with extensions given. Now, I think we'll make more than 2 free signings, but we'll have to see. With respect, in Jan, we let Aubameyang leave and surely we'll bring in a striker. Surely we all know what happened. If Arsenal brings in 2 strikers, Eddie, we all can be happy. We have a chance to sign a couple of high-quality players because of a World Cup year, guaranteed straight walk into the team and play most games. Yeah, but many players are not gonna. Some players are not gonna want to leave because if you join a new team, if you join a new team and you're adapting to the league and the system, that might cost you a place in the squad. I say eat humble pie and get Aubameyang back. Nkunku talk went quiet, which is a shame. Trust. What about James Maddison? Would love him, but I don't think we're going to do that. Big up DG. I'd rather buy Che Adams, I think you mean, from Southampton than keep Eddie. Just me, though. You're capping a bit Muay Thai. Capping, man. Capping with that one. Exit. Capping. I can't support you on that one. Eddie improved a lot last season, proving me wrong for one with his dribbling, hold-up play. Not sure if 100K does anything for anyone, as he won't be our main striker next season, hurting his development. I'm not an Eddie fan. He did prove me wrong the last few games, but until deadline day, I'll keep quiet. I'll keep quiet. By all means, I'll criticize or praise the club, but I'll give you just work and bring people in it. As much as we get hyped about transfers, as you said, DG, it's 50% getting the players in and 50 is on the manager and the situation. Look how gassed we were when Pepe signed. I told 2 players I've been right about, 3 actually, Lacazette, Pepe, Tavares. Told man this Lacazette thing is not going to bang. As much as I loved him, I said it's not going to happen. 200 likes, people appreciate that. There's 500 basically in here. Can we get to 300? Unexpected high bills due. Don't hit the like button. Arsenal are not signing no new strikers. Hope you're doing well and safe, Ashley. Arsenal don't behave like a big club. Man City signed Alvarez, still went ahead to sign Haaland. That's a big club. Arsenal, they will only give excuses, boy. Aubameyang's done his thing, but I wouldn't bring him back. Tony or Eddie, I mean, there's, you know what, the Ivan Tonys and the Dominic Calvert-Lewins, they're not bad strikers, but I'd rather give Eddie the minutes and bring in, put things towards, what's the right word, resources towards a proper striker who can score goals, really. He's Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I do think you've got general play. You got more. He ain't really been scoring goals this season, but he's got more to his game than people give credit. Tony the same, but they're going to cost fees that I don't think they're worth, if I'm completely honest with you. So we'll have to see, but yeah, crazy. If I'm completely honest with you. Hey, happy Independence Day to the Guyanese locked in as well, by the way. Agree. Let the chess moves play out before this overreaction. Again, I'm just asking for significant business to be done because, again, and I'm not asking for everything. We all know things happen in the window. People that you think are leaving don't leave. People that you think are coming don't come. There's a lot of variables. I'm just asking, specifically, I do really, to do 80% of the business. I'm asking for that centre mid and that striker. I'm asking for, I've asked you to tie down Eddie Nketiah? Can you now tie down Saka, Martinelli, and Saliba? Can you bring me a striker and a midfielder? Can you get me some cover at fullbacks? That's 30. Can we get a move on without going? Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Torreira, these sort of ones. I'm not asking you to do everything, but there needs to be a significant part of business. Why Kroenke want to extend Eddie's contract, the guy's average? I mean, there's money to be made, man. Twitter, internet, YouTube, football is funny. Hope you're not including me in that. People will always find something to complain about. Jesus, Saka, and a goal scorer in left wing and number 8 puts our starting 11 on another level. I don't know if it's another level, but it does help us out a lot. I do think tying down Eddie was important because there's bread. If he left, so it was. There's money there. Like, that's a £20 million asset there. I don't listen. If we're gonna be self-financing, we need to be able to sell players. Like, not everyone that comes through Haaland. I'm not saying Eddie's gonna be sold, but we've given ourselves that. If Eddie develops, great. That's a first-team player. If not, he's assuming he does sign that deal. He's sold. Balogun, if you develop, fair enough. We're gonna have a headache for strikers. If not, safe, and etc. 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 So yeah, man. I don't want Eddie to get number 14. Not about getting over Oba. We need a striker. We have one. If we don't get one, get Oba back. Let him hold bench. It's not gonna, for a variety of reasons. All right, man. That is not development of Eddie. It's how every player at Arsenal perform at the end of a contract to get the new contract. It's just like Aubameyang, Ramsey, Walcott. I mean, you've got a point there, but we'll have to see. It's down for Eddie to prove wrong. All I would say is, you know, whether you're upset or for it, live with it. You can't change it. If Eddie's gonna sign a new deal, you can't change it. There's nothing you can do. Like, you just gotta accept it. There's nothing you can do. Like, you are a football fan. You cannot change it, rightly or wrongly. So to a degree, get your knickers out of a twist. Calm the hell down. Like, you know, calm down. We seem to be just renewing contracts for players that have shown they're not good enough to play for us. We'll only get a couple of on the cheap so we can save money. I mean, that's the problem. Respectfully, and then it's kind of shown me stuff that you can be a squad player. Until Eddie shows me different, like, you're just a squad player, really. No, bro, I wasn't including you. You have a very level-headed approach, hence why I watch your vids in the seat of shitty football opinions, DJs alive. But appreciate that. I was just hoping for the disclaimer, man. Arsenal get their fingers out and buy Benzema. Dream chasing. I'd love it, but dream chasing. Osimhen or Jesus. In terms of goals, I guess Osimhen is the goal scorer in it. So him, we need goals in it. For as much as I like Gabriel, I'm just banking on that. If you sign, that you have a platform to score goals. Like, you're not a goal scorer because you haven't done it before. So we're gonna have to see. Literally, just gonna have to wait and see, man. Your guess is as good as mine. Just gonna have to see how this plays out. We're almost half the way there in terms of likes. People keep doing what you're doing, mate. You lot are doing amazing, absolutely amazing. Twitch gang, shout at you lot, man. Man said Adams. Yeah, we saw the Morata thing. I'm Eddie's biggest hater, but even I can admit he's done enough to be a squad player here. People need to get over Oba. Trust. Afternoon, Ashley. Hope we're doing well and safe. Oh, the man said João Felix's girl cheated. Prime Felix incoming, sign him up, Brazy. We need a target man bad. We keep wasting fullback / winger crosses. True. And I'd say outlet away from home as well. In my opinion, we lack that. The chance creation and chance conversion should be increased. Goals should come from almost every area. That's what we should be aspiring to do. With, I believe, Odegaard can improve in that. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli can keep improving in that. Then whatever the next striker is, you need to be doing that. And apart from that, I don't really expect anyone else to score at Arsenal. I don't expect Partey, Xhaka, unless you play United, Xhaka, and Lokonga. I don't expect these lot to score goals. I don't expect my fullbacks to score goals. Bit left of the field, but maybe we should try grab Maxwell Cornell for low, as Burnley have been relegated. There's a relegation clause, but yeah, man, I'm not really for it still. What else have we got? How many signings do you think we get? I don't have a clue, man. I think 3, 4. I hope it's more because I mean I would like a fullback on either side, 2 midfielders, striker minimum. I'd like a bit more than that, but Arsenal tax. And we would have finished third if we done our own business without the referee excuses. Trap there, ifs and buts, man. We'd have finished fourth. No, we can't just. We would not have finished fourth without referees' mistakes because referees' mistakes or not. Did we play good enough against Spurs? Did we play good enough against Newcastle? Did we play good enough at Burnley at home? I can't blame the ref for failing to hold on to leads at Man United away, at Everton away, at Crystal Palace at home. Being lucky to get a point Brighton away. Maybe I'm not. I discount us at the start of the season, last season, because Bear Dons were injured and things. But if we started that season, if we signed someone in January, before we look to the refs, I'm not saying the referees don't deal with us dirty, don't do us disgusting and things like that. But before we look to the ref, there are variables that we can control. We can't answer ourselves the simple question of, okay, cool, we missed out on top four because of refereeing decisions. Was there ref anything to blame against Southampton, against Crystal Palace away, against Brighton at home? I don't think so. So it might sound great in isolation. Two truths can live in the same realm. Yes, there was bookie refereeing decisions, but we did nearly enough. And let's be honest, on minimal occasions, refs have been favourable to us as well. United, I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it. Word to Arsene Wenger, but they might have should have had a penalty or something in the game against us. I don't know. So that all of that's dead. Control the if everybody knows the referees are shit, let's just control the variables that we can control. It might help us sleep better at night, but we're lying to ourselves. So yeah, that's that. We're lying to ourselves, though, man. We're lying. What would you let Saliba go for? I wouldn't sell him, but if you give me my bread back and some change, why not? They're ultra thinking we just got money for Vlahovic. Why aren't we buying this tree? I swear that CF Bayern guy got drawn out by Pogba / Rashford. Sounds like contract tactics. True. I don't know who will sign. I don't know, bro. Bro, offload Pepe. Yeah, it's done, man. I don't know how much Gnabry earns, man. You have to ask his accountant, man. I'll be happy with Jesus. I'll be delighted with Osimhen. Adding Gnabry, and we're hitting the kind of transfer window I'm hoping for. Just need a couple of mids, Hickey, and a right back. Charlie, you said it, man, but easier said than done, man. No, I'm not doing my show with I'm not there for the next two weeks. DG, you know Gabriel and Edu and the others was at Haringey Stadium for what? Gnabry not coming, media taunting us. Gnabry seems a bit unrealistic. You're talking facts. I appreciate that. I don't know about that, but yeah. Big up DG. Imagine Jesus and Eddie and the phone calling each other during the celebrations. Why not? You know what? It's not going to quite be a Bambi and a Lacazette, but you can get it back. I'm here for it. I don't think we sign him, but I would love it. So I'm saying Dons were doing shit stuff at them ages there, man. I don't know what's going on with our man. Like I said, there must be something that if you're connected to the world of football, there must be something dodgy around him or around his people or something. Because you can't go from being linked with Real Madrid, Barcelona, City, Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool, you know, seen as the golden boy, Pep waxing lyrical about your performances. You can't go from that to Betis. And it's looking like a half-hearted thing with Betis' interest. They're looking like, oh, you know what, 30 million. We took Fekir, we're taking Bellerin, we're signing Rebos, and we're getting a tune out of them. It's not like, man, I'm waxing lyrical. I'm taking Aouar, but there might be something Bandulu about it. Gnabry could be overrated. It don't mean he won't be good for us, mate. Arsenal, Aouar always comes to Arsenal and DG's FM saves, and he's media as well. Like, he's media in that. I'll be real. 50 for Jesus, 64 for Haaland. I mean, we're not going to get Haaland. Haaland's true fee when you factor in everything is 85 million. And not to mention his weekly wages. So it does sound great in isolation with that FIFA thing. But yeah, I don't see why Aouar is even an option considering his irregular season. Even if he was good last year, he ain't the correct player. That spot is being taken by Odegaard and Smith Rowe. I mean, there's a lot of games. And don't forget, Smith Rowe can play a lot of positions. Odegaard the same. And, you know, Aouar can learn / play in a pivot. So I wouldn't talk like Aouar's a scrub. Signing Jesus and renewing Eddie isn't good enough. Already a pre-made excuse for next season. We needed to back Arteta more with top strikers. We can go get Osimhen. We can go get Tammy. We can go get Nunes, who are all very good strikers. I'm tired of this, man. Boy. Worrying thing is that we're not signing a right back, my guy. You know we're not signing a right back. The club allegedly are happy with Cedric. Apparently, I saw on Twitter we rejected a bid from Porto. And these guys, they'll have good games, but they'll show you their levels, man. My mental health has been bad recently, but watching DJs helped me big time. Thanks, man. Much love, bro. First things first, Ashley, I hope you're doing well and safe. Second of all, your mental health has improved because you've done it yourself, bro. I can never take claim for any of that. You're stronger than you already know, man. So keep going, my guy. Love to hear that, my guy. And anyone else, love to hear that, man. Keep doing your thing. I'm happy to have you here. You know, if my platform has provided something for you, then I appreciate that. But you've done that on your own back, my guy. Trust me. Referee excuses. Come on, I don't like rest, but excuses on. Bro, I can't lie. Anyone that's just saying that, they've not played football at any level. Yes, referees are shit, but everyone's taught in Sunday League, whether you live in this country or not, you expect the refs to be shit. I used to play for Boardwalk Farm, then I joined Edmonton All-Stars, and we knew Classford was always going to cheat. He was on that Sir Alex Ferguson thing, so you need to win the game. Even playing Sunday League now, refs are class, win the game. If you played as hard as you could in all these games, and you could say, okay, the ref has done us dirty, like Jogba at Stamford Bridge, fair play. But too often they're not. We're hiding behind that. We're hiding behind that. People don't want to be honest, man. Gnabry, Jesus, Telemans, and Hickey would mark an unreal summer for us, Charles. I'm hoping for 5-hour Paqueta, Hickey, Jesus, and Basuma or Nunes / Osimhen. I hope so, man. Excuses, FC. We didn't get fourth because of ourselves. Hey, man, we capitulated, bro. Regarding Odegaard, does it seem like you play well when Odegaard is playing well? Yeah, well, Odegaard, that he's on it. The only things I demand of Odegaard is physically, I think you need to improve. I want you to run the games a bit more, and I think that comes with age. I think you have the ability to run the game for us and dictate the tempo and that. I think you need to chip in with goals and assists, although Eddie and Saka have denied him too well the assists against Chelsea and United, I believe, respectively. Yeah, man. I would say that really. I think Odegaard's a fantastic player for us. I really like him. And I would actually say sometimes I think he tries to do some things that I think he thinks to his level of footballing IQ is probably the highest in the team. Sometimes he tries to play certain passes that the other guys are not on their level in it. I think he needs to dumb it down. I like Odegaard, terrific player, man. Only going to get better. What if Eddie Nketiah declines in performance as I'm thinking and his value drops must be sold now? I mean, he's 22, turning 23. There's going to be seasons better than others. There's going to be moments where he's up and down. Form is temporary, class is permanent. So just keep working. Like, as I said, a career is not going to go like that. Eddie's not just going to randomly it's not Disney Channel. You're not randomly just going to start games now and then you're just up there like that. It's like Saka. You were due to miss a penalty or have moments like that for England. You're due to have a season where you're not necessarily bagging. You're due to struggle like you have been, like Smith Rowe at times, kind of fell off in the second half of the season. Now been demoted back into the under-21s. It doesn't just go like that as a career. It doesn't. That's not football. It's not how it works. And referee mistakes don't just happen to us. Come on now. Big up S. I hope he does score 15. But if we get Morata, then I'm vexed. I don't need Jesus. Eddie, that's cool. But there's no point. If you're not going to bring in a striker better than them, which you could say Morata is arguably, I'd prefer to keep playing Eddie instead of Morata, even though Morata's probably better than him. I'd rather Jesus play instead of Morata. That's when I have a problem. If you're bringing in a next striker to go with Eddie's new deal and obviously Jesus, then it needs to be someone better, not someone sideways. I don't want to talk about somebody working hard and things. Where does Balogun fit in the narrative upon his return? Man signed a contract not too long ago and must be fuming that he's left out of discussion. I mean, this is a big club. No one put a gun to your head. You knew that, you're fighting with Tyrese, John Jules, Kyon Edwards, any striker the club brings in. Martinelli, if we ever start playing him up front. The new striker who comes in, assuming this gap has this, you knew there was competition. Now, it weren't going to, when you got past the euphoria of the announcement video, the new squad level, the new squad number, Balogun not ready. He's been on a loan, half a loan in Middlesbrough now. Probably would have went on loan quicker if the contract was sorted, It's not even just the goals. I look for it for the IQ. Sometimes you can see this is things you imagine at his age. Sometimes he's making poor runs. He's getting attracted to the ball. He just needs to keep developing. He's not ready right now. You know, probably go back on loan. You're still early 20s. You know, no one put a gun to your head to sign that deal. He doesn't fit into the narrative for next season. Eddie, maybe if Eddie left, Balogun would get an opportunity. I mean, there's not too many games. You know, occasionally coming off the bench and occasionally playing in Europa, it's not going to develop. I would love Balogun to play in a top division or something, but for me, I think it's worth staying at Middlesbrough. Chris Wilder wanted you at Sheffield United. I think at times he's brought you off the bench. He's hooked you when you needed to. I think I do see you developing. I think you might as well just stay at Middlesbrough for another year. Like, you're still young, really. And he's not ready to be getting a look in. He's not ready. When you're scoring on, but all them under 23 goals, when you're bagging against Dundalk, that's all meaty. Nothing to, no disrespect to him. It's different. And at the end of the day, man, need to score goals, really, man. DG, is Eddie and Hayes strong enough to push us forward in attack? Well, we're going to have to see. I can't convincingly say no. I can't convincingly say yes, because when I do the maths, I hope that potentially they could. But if we just look at the maths, it's a wait and see thing. I can't convincingly tell you that. I can see why Arteta wants to keep Eddie. I can see why GABRIEL just fits into what Arteta wants. You know, like Tite and Pep says, he's a great team player. He like the modern forward. He can play in a bunch of roles. He presses well. He does all of that. But in the topic of goals, if we just rise it up, and again, I know Jesus can score goals. I know Eddie can score goals. They've got a strong body of goals in all comps. But I'm looking at the league, because for me, that's how I'm judging it, Carl. The league is where we've struggled to score goals. Well, again, when we get to the latter stages of tournaments, of course you need people to score, but the league is where we're struggling. Anytime we buck a low block like the Burnley at home game, we're in trouble, because it's another point. We ain't got no movement. The number 8, we ain't got that techie number 8 that can mash up a team's defensive structure. And we ain't really got, a striker's we're not scoring against them teams there, really. Big up to Eddie, because he's got 5 goals in his last 7, but 21 in 5. Now, I think that's harsh, because obviously Eddie, for the large part of the season, was a sideman. He's getting little man minutes, 30 seconds and that. Some of you last longer with your misses in that. But in terms of goals, Eddie's got 23 and 92 for Arsenal Football Club. I'm not making this up. You lot can all see this, and I'm not criticizing. You're asking me, do I think it's enough? Not sure. 10 goals in the Prem. Now, with like with Gab Jesus, maybe with a platform to score goals, that improves. But he hasn't got a strong body of work in the Championship, where it didn't work out at Leeds. Didn't work, it's working out at Arsenal now, but 10 goals, 2 assists in 59, it's meaty. 23 goals in all comps, really, for Arsenal Football Club. I'm not criticizing him. I hope they could. But if I'm going, if I was betting, I don't know. Goals win games. I don't expect to see any of these guys where the golden boot is. And I hope to be wrong, of course. I'm just answering your question. You look at Gab Jesus now, 95 goals. He leaves just shy of 200. I mean, of 100, sorry. That was poor maths. Of 100 for City. 236 appearances, 95 goals. He's got 58. So that's 68. That's 68 Premier League goals between the two, if they are to be our strikers. For when Mikel Arteta says we need 90 to 100 goals, or we need goal scorers and things like that, if we just do the maths. This is why I kept saying, as much as if they get a platform, they're gonna have to score goals. To a degree, I can't really get mad at people if they've shown me that they can't do it. Like if we had Son, Vardy, Kane, or Prime, or Aubameyang, and they're not scoring goals, I'm kind of onto them. These lot haven't got a strong body of work, If you can't, if you can barely wrap burgers at McDonald's, and I take you to my kitchen and say, cook me a meal, you're gonna be shit. I can't really be mad at you if you serve me something shit. I have to be mad at myself. This is where I'm looking at Arteta now, because show us the angle. The talent ID last year was good. Ramsdale, you can say what you want. I didn't know he was that good with his feet. So if you can see something in Jesus and Eddie that we don't know, then fair play. And I'll back them all the way. I'm kind of happy with them too, really. Of course, I would want another striker. I would want, in addition to these lot, all these other dons that are happening in it, like the Nunez's, the Osimhen's, of course. But as I said, what's that? That's 68 Premier League goals between them. And again, you have to tax probably Jesus as well, but tax Eddie, because out of Eddie's appearances, there's not too many 90-minute Premier League games, really. But that's 68 goals between them. That's 159. 159 for Gabriel Jesus in the league. How many did it say Eddie had in the Premier League? 59. So 159 plus 59. That is 69 goals in 218 games between them. So if you're betting on that to get you, let's demote it down to 15. You know, because if Eddie's a second fiddle striker, if you could get 10 to 15, Gab Jesus, again, if with a platform, if you could get 15, 20, and the other guys can chip in, cool. But, you know, the latter stages of Europa League, you need to score, cool. So if that's what Arteta wants to bet on, fair play. But right now, it don't really, and then that sprinkles in, obviously, Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, who have chipped in. But as I said, for me, to be labelled a goal scorer, you have to be doing it for years. Like, obviously, if we look at, who would you compare Saka to? You know what? Son plays out wide. Salah plays out wide. Them man are goal scorers. They've been doing it for years. Saka is learning to score goals. He had he got 11 last year. I back Saka to get 11 or more next year, but I can't convincingly say that. And at times, let's be honest, even Saka's finishing could improve. And he kind of, you know, he burnt the man out towards the tail end. I'm not going to belittle the penalties because penalties are penalties, definitely when he missed one for England and scoring. But he kind of went off a cliff really and truly, you know. Again, on that, just because I'm humouring myself, Saka transfer mark. Because I want to know when Saka actually last scored an open play goal, which wouldn't be the last couple of goals he scored. 12 goals and 7 assists in all comps, people in 38 games Saka played, got 11 goals and 7 assists. Saka's learning to score goals. I know he's played left back and all these things, but he's got 17 goals in 97 Premier League appearances. So he'll touch the 100 league games barrier next year. I mean, 131 for Arsenal. He's got 23 and 29. So he's learning to score goals. Scrolling all the way down, you'd have to go back to Aston Villa, and just so you lot can see here, you'd have to go back to Aston Villa, the last open play goal he bagged. And again, this is what I'm saying. Like, we're betting on guys that have potential to score goals, which is cool, which tomorrow that can help us. But the target next season is top 4, is the final of the Europa League, going to the final of the FA Cup, going as far as you can in the league. Obviously, we need to be creating goals, scoring goals, defending a lot better, evident improvement. And the gloves are going to be off. Arteta, no one can save you because you signed a new deal. Money's been spent. Money's going to be spent. But this is it. So again, in the topic of scoring goals, where are they coming from? You know, Klopp can sit there, or Conte can sit there and say, boom, Kane's my guy. He's going to get me double figures. Son's going to get me double figures. Kulusevski with a full season can do a thing for me. Past that, he's probably struggling. Liverpool, they're all littered around. City, they're all littered around. Other team, you know, now they can sit there and say Ronaldo's going to bag goals for me. United can't really look at Rashford at this moment in time, Sancho at this moment in time, Martial at this moment in time, and really think goals are happening. So it's a bit unfair, I feel, for these young players. It's the harsh reality of football, you know. Smith Rowe, Saka, you man are England internationals and all them things there now. We're doing the young player project. It's a bit unfair, really. And again, I want to say Smith Rowe because I'm sure you had a healthy goal tally at a point. 10 Premier League goals. Big up to him and Saka. But I can't convincingly say you are going to get 10 and 11 for Saka and Smith Rowe next season. I can't convincingly say Eddie is going to bag. I can't convincingly say Jesus. Out of all of them, I'd probably be the most confident in Jesus, to be fair with you. But yeah, you know, between them, they got 20 goals and about, 9 or so assists. So we're betting on a lot. But then again, in the Premier League, he's got 12 goals in 55. Smith Rowe is learning to do that. And a lot of people sit there and say, oh, Arteta's not improving players. I'm sorry, but they've had their best goal scoring seasons, and they are, you know, some players are not improving as fast and making the same mistakes, but he is improving them. But Smith Rowe started off very well. You know, I want to see the assists improve a bit. 2 assists, Smith Rowe, you're good enough to get a lot better than that. But yeah, he bust out. He scored against Chelsea, but he bust out second half of the season. And I know he weren't playing, he had injuries. So yeah, and these are the goal scorers in the team. So if these men are not scoring, what go on for us then? That's my point. Like, what's going to happen? Like, because obviously these are young dons. You can't expect them all to be at it for 38 Premier League games. 252 likes. Can we keep moving? You know, it's like drawing blood from a stone. It's unfair. If Liverpool relied on Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, that Carvalho brother, it would look a lot different. If Phil Foden's a bit of an enigma, but it would look a lot different if City were relying on the young tugs. Them, we're actually doing that. So yeah, man, it is what it is. That's why I said to the comment about the cameos, that's why I said I discounted a bit for Eddie. I've literally said that. So, yeah, it is what it is. And then past that, who are we really looking at to score goals? You're not here. Your days are numbered. I'm looking at Martinelli to score goals as well. But what did you get? 6 and 6 in the league. Right. Fair enough. In 29, fair enough. They said Martinelli don't play games. Look at him. 18 goals, 11 in the league and 57. The man, them are still learning, man. Like, what? He bagged against Everton and he did get a couple assists, but he went on a little drought. And there was even times where Martinelli, Southampton away, even though the ref got in the way, City at home. There's been times, Smith Rowe, numerous times where he should have bagged, especially when he came back from injury. They're learning. As much, this is the project we're doing, but do you get it? Goes around. And another one, who else are you really looking at? If it's not Martinelli, for me, I'm looking at Odegaard still to get goals. In my opinion, because I think he's got the capacity to chip in for goals and assists, and you need to. Right, you got 7 goals in the league. You never scored 7. Oh my God. Bro, Odegaard, 7 and 4. It needs to, and brother, you see what I'm saying? Like, he's got to do a bit more. Raw. We're cooking still. Odegaard, we're moving mad still. But still, 50 appearances, 8 goals now. Adaptation tax and that. But yeah, I can't lie, 4 assists though. Smith Rowe only had half, and you only missed 2 games. I want the assist to improve. I expect more goals, more assists than goals. But apart from Martinelli and obviously Smith Rowe, assuming Gabriel has signed and Nketiah signs his new deal, Saka and Smith Rowe and Martinelli, who's expected to score goals? Xhaka can't play United every week, like I keep saying. That it's one of them ones. He can't play them every week. So it's a very interesting one still. Very, very interesting debate. And one that will be cut up as well. Can Jesus really score enough? It's one of them ones, really. It's an interesting debate to have, though, man. Big up you lot. You're in top form as you always are. So, yeah, man. That's great, man. Like, that's great. I've seen Bearman score you goals. I've seen Chuba Akpom, J. Emmanuel Thomas. Once you come into the senior game, it's dead, bro. But this is the point. My point is not to criticize them. My point is, you're almost, it's not unrealistic expectations, but it's almost unrealistic expectations, really. I believe you'll get at least 12 goals and 8 assists for the Gunners next season. Right. I mean, if we're only going to score 12 goals across 38, we're in trouble, aren't we? Shout out, oh, you seen you've been missing for a sec. Hope you're doing well and safe. And I hope it works out for Eddie and Arsenal as well. I can't. Like, I'm not going to, I need to bust out, actually, really. I need to bust out, go and get lunch. And I'm back at 3:15, actually, people. Just chat, we're doing a watch along for, obviously, what was it? Forgot now. The under-17s. Real talk about the rest, DG. We need to take accountability for our performances first. It is. I like Matt Smith. I think he probably just needs to go and play football. It's not gonna happen here, innit? It's not gonna happen here. Like, you need to keep it moving. Unfortunately, you need to go and do your thing. I don't think it's 100 bags. Yeah, I can't lie. You're right. Odegaard sliding shag this season. Remember when Aubameyang stole his goal? Can easily have 3 more assists. I can't lie. He should have an assist. You remember when he did that little sweep thing for, was it Saka or Nketiah? He's definitely did 2 wavy assists for both of them. As he said, he wants to go play football, bro. £100 million a week. He bankrupt the club. It's 100K. And it's not even that. He's not on 100 million. You can rest assured that, he's not on 100 million. I think you nailed it with Odegaard's IQ. We all have pretty much almost a bird's eye view of the game, and Odegaard makes passes that even we don't see. Again, I think, he needs to simple it down a bit. Sometimes he tries the techie stuff. Let the man develop, man. Are you in the dressing room? Yeah, I am, Stan. At least I'm making, at least I'm making use of your stadium. DG, fans only bring up refs because we're crap. We was getting conned back in 03, but we had good team and we could overcome that. Trust. Extending contracts for El Nene and Eddie is a backwards move. Football is pushing forward. I wouldn't say it's a backwards move. If anything, it's a sideways one, really. I hope Eddie can chip in with 15 goals, somebody said there, man. I hope so. Come on. Pardon me. Trust. He creates, but no one can finish it. But I don't like how, for me at Arsenal, obviously Odegaard should be the creative don, same way whoever plays up front should be the goal scorer. But creativity is not just down to one man. It needs to be movement. People need to come short. People need to run in behind, create decoys, create things. This is why, for me, you sign the number 8, only half the job. There needs to be movement in front. You find a striker. How are you going to set him up? Because we're not necessarily up there for creating chances. You know, we're not up there for scoring either. Other people need to get into goal scoring positions. We've got a young and volatile squad. We can't rely on one man to do certain things. And defensively, it needs to improve. Our press is, on occasion, United, Chelsea, Spurs away, Spurs at home, definitely not away. We press together. But our pressing is not coordinated. And it's, you know, our first attacker is Ramsdale. Our first defender is whoever the striker is. We need to take that. Our team needs to start looking like a well-engined unit. I personally don't think that can happen until we sort out midfield or bring in a number 8 who can revamp this thing and do what Arteta asks Xhaka to do to another level and make Xhaka a rotation option. But there needs to be more than just that. So we'll have to see. We'll actually have to see what happens in it. We'll have to see, man. So yeah, man. It is what it is. On that note, though, I'm going to cut out, people. I need to go and get something to eat. And then we're live at 3:15. That will only be on Twitch, people. That will only be on Twitch. It's quarterfinals time where the under-17s European Championships are concerned. Honestly, I don't even know who is playing. Oh, we're watching Denmark versus Serbia, folks. Spain versus Portugal is at 6. I need to be out somewhere. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, yeah, it's been a fantastic live stream with you lot, as it always is, people. We've spoken about a lot. We've had some interesting talking points, etc., etc. So, yeah, on that note, people, let's get out of it. If you're on Twitch, let's go raid the channel still. Let's go raid Rance's channel because the man them are holding it up for me. And then, yeah, if you're on YouTube, one love, man. What's going on here? So, yeah, man, one love, you lot. Peace. Safe.
There's always just that active and that defending. I think it's like